And welcome inside American Heritage High School in American Fork, Utah. Dusty Lister, Lewis Preston with you. As tonight our first matchup of Wasatch Academy and Superior Academy basketball. And Lewis, first of all, pleasure to be along with you. Someone who's one of the best coaches, been on some of the best staffs. Going to learn a lot from him tonight, but we got a great matchup tonight. Two McDonald's All-Americans on the floor tonight, and two guys that are just going to look different. Some guys are 17, and some just don't look like they're 17, and that's certainly the case with Michael Foster.
Well, first of all, Dusty, it's great to be with you. Once again, when I look at Michael Foster, it looks like he and the weight room have been having a one-on-one throughout all the 2020 and the 21, and it looks like it's pretty even right now. Once again, beautiful body, great, talented. What I loved about was his work ethic when he came out here. Inside, mid-range, three-point shots. As we go to the other side with Nolan Hickman, we know he's battling a little bit of an injury there, but once again, McDonald's All-American that's going to Kentucky. He just does everything. We had a chance to see him at Holiday Hoops Given. He was phenomenal in both of those games against Grayson and Pebblebrook back in Atlanta. So looking forward to seeing him here tonight. Once again, these two teams coming off of long layoffs. This first few minutes is going to be very interesting.
It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens in this one. The starters for Premier Basketball are going to be Quan Greer, number 2, Keontae Clay, number 4, Max Kundert, number 23, and Michael Foster, number 11. Easy to find him. And then William Young, number 20. And for Wasatch Academy, be Robbie Arbrester, Roddy Gale Jr., Nolan Hickman, Richard Pop-Up Isaacs Jr., and then Casey Jones, as we will start first with Premier Academy. And head coach Keontae Clay. And we're going to be learning a lot about these young men throughout this game. As that one goes in and out, won't fall for William Young, now on the run. The Wasatch Academy and the first-year head coach Paul Peterson. As that one now, loose ball picked up by Premier, but nice hands and the steal and nearly the hammer. As we'll have a foul charge to Premier's number 20, William Young. And that's going to put, we might have a different number on the roster here. Pardon me, that is Roddy Gale Jr. going to the line.
Which you know is going to be very interesting right here. There's not going to be any easy baskets tonight. Both of these teams are very physical, very athletic, quick to get up and down the floor. So once again, you're going to earn your points tonight if you're playing, if you get into that lane.
So Gale off on the first. And our first point tonight. But for Premier, Lewis, as we look at this team, and go full court pressure here with Wasatch Academy, having to deal with this sped up tempo as Greer mishandles that one. Loose ball, still controlled by Premier. Kundert now inside. Power dribble and one for Michael Foster.
Once again, we talked about this earlier, 50-50 balls, guys getting on the floor right there. Greer got on the floor, made that pass right over there, got back up, Kundert to Greer underneath to Foster with a chance at and one.
The foul charge to Foose. Both teams going to try to speed each other up here with full court presses. In the corner now, Isaacs. And Pop with the floater.
I mean, Wasatch's guard play, Dusty, you can put it against anybody in the country.
And their schedule has proven that. As that three off the mark by Greer. Now we do have a 35-second shot clock tonight in both of our games. As on the other end, the floater won't drop. Send back out, Isaacs for three, wide to the right. Foose with the board, leaves it on the backside, and a block by Michael Foster as Arbrester tried to reverse that one.
He looked like he reversed that right into his elbow. And then here's the other part. Foster's bringing it up like the point.
Arbrester able to stay in front. And that one left short by Foster, quickly down the floor. Long three is good. And that is Nolan Hickman. Young man heading to Kentucky to play for Coach Cal.
Remember what I told you about McDonald's All-Americans? They just look different. That's a great example.
And of course, Hickman, the first McDonald's All-American to play at a Utah high school since Frank Jackson at a Lone Peak. And Frank can be in attendance tonight. Three on the way from Clay. Can't get that one to go, and the loose ball goes to Quan Greer. And you just see that first game as Foster thought Cunner going to go to the hole. He cut it off short.
Right.
Didn't turnover.
I think the first quarter here is going to be getting those jitters out and everything, Dusty. And once again, once you get those nerves calmed down, you'll get back to your normal flow and who you are as a team.
Up top with Isaacs. And it's off the back of the iron. And the loose ball now picked up by Michael Foster. And no call on that contact in the backcourt. And the ball popped away by Isaacs, gone the other way. And a hammer by Robbie Armbruster.
And that's what Robbie was known for even in Atlanta when he played for Thurl. Once again, getting out in transition, but he's more known for what he can do on the defensive end and keeping his feet down, playing with his hands. That's the reason why Kelvin Sampson is going to have fun with him in Houston.
As you mentioned, he can be a Houston Cougar next year. And fun for you, get to fly west, get to watch him play and get reunited. Is Clay, beautiful take and finish by Keontae Clay. Both these teams want to play at a high tempo, and again, a 35-second shot clock is outside.
I'm not sure we're going to worry about that tonight.
I don't think so either. Pop Isaacs now with 5 points in the quarter. Neither team's wasted that time. I'd love to see it just move into high school basketball across the country.
It needs to.
And Keontae Clay, I thought we were going to have a backcourt, but it'll be a foul to Isaacs. And it is the first team foul on the Tigers.
I'll tell you one thing, Isaacs has come out here playing with an extra level of aggression here in these first 3+ minutes.
Casey Jones checks in for Robbie Armbruster. So you see his dunk from earlier on. Try lob inside. Foster couldn't corral it. Transition 3, Isaacs left it short. And the rebound taken by Quan Greer. Transition 3 on the other end. Clay can't have it. Can't find it, rather. And the rebound to Casey Jones. Hickman. Can't get it. Foose with the board, and we're going to have a loose ball foul on Foose.
Is that his second?
That is number 2. And I'll bring Kiba Kieta. We'll trade one man from Mali for another. And Kiba Kieta comes on the floor for Wasatch Academy.
And when you look at the bodies of those two coming in for each other, you see why the NBA is making an emphasis on having a league over in Africa.
Of course, Madi Sissoko now playing in Michigan State is beautiful, fine. Max Cunnert. We saw it earlier, moving without the basketball. Cunnert with an easy 2. But Madi Sissoko now at Michigan State, also came from Mali. Played at Wasatch Academy. As Hickman comes near side to Isaacs. And that ball popped away by Quan Greer. Now Michael Foster leaves it on the angle. Cunnert. Kiba went for that one. Well above the rim, and is on the other end, Hickman. And there's a steal coming the other way, a little showtime. Michael Foster with a 2-hand hammer.
I think what I'm concerned about are the rims tonight. I'm very concerned about the rims.
It almost feels like the floor is too small for what we're seeing athletically right now.
And that is what you get with elite athletes.
And Isaac's going to get called for a travel.
Interesting.
Let's see. We have it. We had a timeout. Athletes being athletes.
Yeah. And once again, when you see that right there by Foster, you want to know what was impressive was his first 3 steps. His first 3 steps, he got out of the gate really fast. Nothing you could do about it.
You are watching the battle on the Fox Sports app.
First and foremost, fans, thank you for coming out tonight. I know we're living in a very unprecedented time, but we're here to make the most of tonight. Watch some great basketball and stay safe. As a reminder, there have been numerous safety enhancements put in place for guests and staff to stay safe. It is of the utmost importance that we remind you, masks and face coverings are mandatory. Additionally, please respect the space of others and keep a 6 feet distance when possible. Hand sanitizer stations have been placed throughout the arena for guests.
If I miss something, just let me know.
Please remember to help keep yourself So, our guests and staff say our commitment to guest, employee, and player health and safety remain our top priority.
Was that? And welcome back inside American Heritage High School. Dusty Lidster, Lewis Preston, and Lou. Stars are being stars here early on.
Right. I mean, Nolan Hickman's doing exactly what we thought Nolan Hickman would do. Pop Isaacs has gotten off to a great start. Michael Foster, once again, is attacking the rim with reckless abandon. Here's what's even more impressive. Quan Greer's done a great job of getting – he's got a couple early assists, dumps off, one to Max Cunnert, one right there to Foster. And once again, those are the little things that can end up being big things as this game advances.
2:36 left in the opening quarter. Again, we're playing 8-minute quarters, 4 of them. And a 35-second shot clock. Is Cunnert, who had that layup early on. Gets it to Foster at the high post. How about Jones getting the opportunity of a lifetime? Can find out what kind of defender he is that one off the mark from Foster, and a good contest. And that ball popped out of bounds off the hands of Keontae Clay and will stay with Wasatch Academy.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're paying attention to Casey Jones's goggles or you don't take him seriously as a basketball player, you are sadly mistaken. He can flat out play.
It's got to be part of the game plan, right? A little bit of the Bobby Hoyle
from me back in the day, the old Kurt Rambis.
Right. Look inside and another reverse and another block by Michael Foster. Quickly the other way, Greer. Oh, and Kiba with the block there. And we will stay with Premier.
That was definitely a monster block right there.
Nothing coming easy at the rim. But we had a foul. And they called a foul on, it's going on Brandon Rigsby.
Yeah. So it was contact before, yeah. Kiba went up there and got that.
You look at Coach Paul Peterson in his first season, Wasatch Academy. Played the toughest schedule in the history of the program. And, you know, COVID year, one of the things that happened is they made the conference with Oak Hill and Montverde, La Lumiere, and Sunrise Christian. And he goes, Dusty, I got to play 12 games in the top 25. He said, he goes, I just had to remind people, hey, this is my first year. You know, you can ease me into it. That ball poked away in the corner now, Isaacs. And he loses that one out of bounds. And Isaacs wanted to foul. It's not coming.
But once again, Premier did a great job right there when the ball got there to the high post. That they collapsed on the high post right there and made it very hard for Wasatch to get into their offense very comfortably, sped them up, get a turnover.
So now with Premier on the other end of the floor. That was William Young, now Michael Foster. Oh, nice find inside, and we got a foul down low. Just sees over the top of everything, doesn't he?
What's beautiful is the fact that he keeps his head up. Most big guys will have their heads down and not being able to survey what's out in front of them. He keeps his head up the whole time. He's not necessarily looking to score. He's looking to dump down as well. Great pass.
Well, it used to be a stigma, right? Big guy that wants to play on the outside. All that's changed so much. How have you seen that? You watched that evolution in your time coaching. You just watched the evolution of the big guy now on the outside, where when you played, they can let you do that, Lewis.
Well, you know what's funny? The true low-post big man has almost become extinct. But here's something that's very funny. It was the inside game that helped the Lakers win their 17th championship.
Isaac sends outside Rigsby for three, and Brandon Rigsby knocks down the three.
Rigsby's doing what Rigsby's known to do.
And that three on the way back rimmed by William Young. And now Foster with the board. Foster, the number 6 recruit in this 2021 class, gets himself to the free throw line. Now won't drop. Kiba with the board, now on the run with Isaacs. Pop to the rim. Oh, leaves that one for Jones. What a dime.
And you know what? Pop saw that the whole time. Jones did a great job running, getting to the open area. Nice dump down, nice assist, easy layup.
Young says up top now. Sam Curtis getting his first look tonight. And that one poked away. And that goes through the hands of Michael Foster, and that defensive pressure from Wasatch Academy forcing turnover.
And once again, one of the things that we talked about early on as we were prepping for this game is going to be the bench play, right? And now both teams have gotten into their bench. Are you going to be ready when your name's called? Right now, you got a couple jittery players here for Premier, to where Rigsby comes in and just knocks in that three comfortably. Could be the difference in this game.
Lob at the rim for Rigsby, and no call on the contact. And it's a turnover. That's what Rick Majerus did in North Carolina 98 Final Four. No lob at the rim if you're boxing him out, right?
Right.
6.7 left. Michael Foster with 3. Rises and fires, and that one's short. And that's how the first quarter comes to the close. At the end of one, it's Wasatch Academy 16, Premier 13. You're watching the battle on the Fox Sports app. And welcome back. Second quarter action coming. Dusty Lister, Lewis Preston, and Lewis. And you said at the break, we don't need a 35-second shot clock.
I don't think we're going to need one this game because the game is getting up and down really fast. Both of these coaches kind of looked at that as being keys for them as they were prepping for this game. We saw Coach Peterson having a very, I wouldn't call it heated, I would call it a very poignant discussion about some of the calls that have been made. But as we enter the second quarter, once again, what are some defensive adjustments that are going to be made by both teams to kind of slow each other down?
Premier goes to his zone. That 3 a little short from Roddy Gale Jr. Quickly the other way. Corner 3 from Sam Curtis, and we're tied at 16. That corner 3 has become so big. It seems like ages ago that was the Spurs with Bruce Bowen doing that. And now it's just at every level. Kiba down low, blocked by Michael Foster.
Wow.
And they're going to get Foster with the foul, putting Kiba at the line. Here's another look at it.
I thought he had all ball. Yeah. But with that being said, here's something that's very interesting. In college basketball, the corner shots are 2 of the hardest shots in the game. In the pros, that's what they work for, are the corner shots. For them, it's the easiest shots. So, once again, going corner to corner right here, as you start to advance the game, that's just part of it.
And why is the difference there between college and pro in the corner?
I think it's just the distance to the rim and the fact that, pros got better guys can knock it down in a higher percentage.
Angle 3, back rimmed by Williams. Rebound taken by Kiba. Hickman coming the other way. Hickman, little hesitation, now one rolls in.
And you know what? A lot of people are not going to see this in the game, but you know what? Coaches will bring this on film. Kiba sprinting to put his head on the rim is the reason why Hickman was able to get that open jump shot.
And now we're going to have a foul on Rigsby. That'll be the – no, it's out of bounds.
Yeah, stepped on the sideline.
You know, one of the things I know that you love to talk about is those winning plays without scoring.
Right. That's a great key right there. I talked about it, Michael Foster earlier, his first 3 steps led to a great dunk. Keep running all the way down and putting his head on the rim gives that wide open lane because the defense has to collapse back. That's advantage to the offense because you're going to be able to get open shots.
As Corey Williams going to pick up the foul. Be the 3rd team foul on Premier.
That's Premier's 3rd team foul. Substitution. William Young enters the game.
I got to tell you, one of the hardest things right now to be a coach is to wear a mask and have you guys here on the other end of the floor, even if it's quiet in the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach Peterson wanted the right spot. Inbound into Armbruster. Hand back to the corner, Hickman. The three won't go. Armbruster with the board, back up. And he's fouled. And I don't even get the goaltending there on Foster. I don't know if it was over the rim. I think it was even on the way up. We're going to get another look at it.
Basket is good. Goaltending call on that play.
Such a bang play, could go either way right there.
That'll be his first foul. Shooting one.
But once again, these are some of the winning plays that Robbie Armbruster brings to the table, and that's the reason why Kelvin Sampson's going to have a lot of fun with this young man.
Doesn't get the +1 as they count it out on the goaltend. Wasatch back into the full court press and able to break it. And Kiva at the lane. Oh, mercy. Kiva had to go for it. And Michael Foster, this isn't next level stuff, Lewis. This is 3-level stuff.
What was crazy about that, he actually looked at him as he jumped, knowing that the contact was going to be made, still finished, and won.
Usually at the high school level, they're sizing up to go for the dunk. There, he was sizing up Kiva like, here we go.
He was sizing up for the contact.
Oh, man.
Ball comes off his hand really, really easy.
I was excited to watch this tonight. I just got chills. I mean, you feel that one through your fingertips. And the three from Hickman wide to the right. Foose with the board. And a nice job there by Clay to come dig that one out. Big man puts the ball below his waist in the low block. You line the little guy to come get it.
Once again, I've always said this. When big men have 2 feet in the paint, you don't need to dribble at all. You should go right into your move. You should have your favorite move and a go-to or a counter move for that.
Oh, how about that lob?
I heard Coach Peterson over here making the comments for that lob right there. Too easy.
Roddy Gale Jr. This is why we have the battles. That goes out of bounds. But this is what the battle's all about, Lewis, is showcasing guys like this.
But here's what's even more impressive for Roddy Gale. Nice dunk, right? Excited about that. He comes back down and defends, makes the guy dribble the ball out of bounds, right? Those are winning plays right there.
Inside, it's Armbruster now. Get into the action. Robbie Armbruster. I'll try not to lose my voice tonight, because I think we're going to have a lot of these opportunities in the 2 games we've got. Remember, this is game 1 and game 2.
Some high-level stuff going on right now. High level.
So we get another look at that, and now the foul on the other end of the floor for Roddy Gale Jr. So going the line now is going to be Keontae Clay, as that is the 17th foul on Wasatch Academy.
Yes.
And Clay hits the front end of 1-1.
It's a lot of chirping going on right now, too. I tell you.
Well, the best part was initially the foul. He ran over. Gale Hurd went to go pick him up. And then we get a little bit more back and forth. As timeout on the floor, full timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:38 left in the half and a 4-point lead for Wasatch Academy. You're watching the battle on the Fox Sports app.
Norman won game 1, 51-47. Jalen Brazil tallied 19 points.
5:38 left in the half. Dusty Lister, Lewis Preston with you. And Lewis, what's been fun about this one is we've got the highlight plays, but it is the defensive efforts on both ends of the floor that's fun.
And once again, when you have high-level athletes, right, playing at both ends of the floor is going to be key for you to potentially put yourself in position to win. We're seeing that with both teams right now. There is nothing easy happening, and if it is, it's because of a turnover.
Armbruster now on the angle to Isaacs. Pop sends outside to Hickman. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Might be the longest possession of the first half. Hickman left that one a little short. Foose couldn't save it. And we'll go down the other way with Premier.
But you know what? Premier came out of that timeout. Great job defensively on their switch-offs and everything. Led to some.
And Foster couldn't get down. Loose ball. And we'll have a loose ball foul here to Quan Greer.
Right, and once again, there's defensive efforts leading to easier offensive opportunities right there. So, I mean, that was a hard shot right there by Hickman. And you know what, Fawcett didn't stay down, kept his hands up, made him shoot over him.
And that's what's so much fun with this being a showcase. And when that goes on is that this isn't just, hey, no defense. This isn't pickup ball. We're getting after it as arm wrestler. That's a stat-stuffing hammer.
I take that back. That was easy.
Robbie Armbruster. But 2 highlights there. We're here in the half. As Clay sent to the corner. Now skip over to Cunnert for 3. Oh, that was in and out. The wide channel ball just come popping out. Isaacs in transition. A little wide. Now Foster coming the other way. Keontae Clay for 3.
But look how he has his head up on that pass right there by Michael Fawcett, passing it. I mean, it's like a point center. I've never said that before in my entire basketball career, a point center.
Oh, and got a little lackadaisical on that one. Isaacs setting up Armbruster for the 2-hand flush. Foster got a little lax there. Keontae Clay loses the handle. Hickman, Armbruster once again. I'm usually counting 3-pointers in a quarter or a half. That's now the 4th dunk of the quarter. Or the half, rather.
I'm telling you. Do we have a dunk meter in here?
Off the steal, Hickman.
Needs a timeout.
Timeout, Coach Keontae. 3:28 left in the half. And Lewis, you know, normally we start talking about scoring. It's the D.
All right. And once again, what we talked about, defense was going to take and lead the offense, and we're seeing it right here. That's 3 straight turnovers right there. Dunk, dunk, 3. And once again, you know, getting out of control. Hickman making an extra pass right there to Armbruster for a nice finish right there. I tell you, he's bringing a little bit of that ATL spice over here to the left side here.
Well, Coach Peterson trying to bring that 40 minutes of hell mentality of Nolan Richards right now. Dunk it. Hey, we'll press and get things going. If you're Coach Keontae, what are you talking about, Coach Keontae Clay?
Well, first of all, what they got to do is stop having 2 guys hang out down here at the other end, and they're playing 5 against 3. What they need to do is they got to get Foster to the middle, and then once he gets to the middle, that's how you break the press, and then you got to navigate because now you have offensive numbers advantage. So they got to get the ball to the middle. They keep throwing it to the coffin corner right there, and they keep getting caught every time. I don't know why teams throw it there when the easiest way to break a press is to get it into the middle of the floor. Once again, middle of the floor. Middle.
The trap at half court, and there's a steal. Gale Jr. with the hammer. And again, come up the sideline. And here comes Cunnert, send to the corner. 3 on the way, it rolls out. Foster with the board and the dunk.
Wow. They got to get some stops.
And that transition from Hickman was online but short. Now the quick lead out to Corey Williams. And now quickly the other way with Wasatch off the miss is Isaacs with a Euro and finish.
You want to know what's disheartening about that? That's a 4-point swing right there. Missed dunk, easy layup.
And now the trap here, midcourt, now over to Cunnert. Free throw line, Jay stays down.
But once again, this tempo is in Wasatch's favor right here. Don't think Premier can keep up with this tempo the entire game.
And a timeout to Coach Paul Peterson. They can't keep up with it. We can't keep up with it. 2:17, we're going to catch our breath. All kinds of defense and highlights here in the first half. Wasatch leading Premier. You're watching the battle on the Fox Sports app. And welcome back in, Dusty Lister, Lewis Preston, and Coach Lewis. When you're looking at a team like for Coach Clay, And you got so much talent, trying to marry things together. How are you trying to pull them back and get out of the individual wants versus what's going to get you back into a game?
Well, first of all, you gotta talk about how the we is greater than the me. And once again, you got to get some stops defensively right here. And that's the tough part right here. I think that's the second foul right there on Michael Foster.
11, Premier Michael Foster.
And
the second one on Foster, it's a little head scratching.
Yeah. But once again, that started by Casey Jones getting on the offensive glass. Those are those 50-50 plays that we don't talk about enough that end up being winning plays, because now you got their best player pick up his second foul. You got to make a decision with 2:03. Do I keep him in the game with the potential to pick up a third, or do I get him out and potentially have Wasatch extend their lead?
You know, it's that thing, right? The effort doesn't take.
Casey hits the second one. 1 of 2.
Well, I completely missed my idea there. I want to make sure to miss that.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Energy, effort, and enthusiasm, you shouldn't have to coach. That's a choice. If you have those 3 E's, and it's collectively as a team, there's a 4th E that you have a chance at, and it's called excellence.
Quickly on the other end, Foster sent to the corner. A little flyby on one, still pulls on the 3. Off the mark, quick comes the other way. Isaacs, good defense, and now the foul on the finish, but initially, very good defense, and the foul go to Quan Greer. As we get another look at it.
And you know what? It wouldn't have been a foul if he hadn't have come over and brought his arms down right there.
Talk about how the strong hands there by Isaacs. Because every bit of that, William Young had his hands on that.
He looked like he had some football running back in his prior days before getting on the basketball floor.
Isaacs out of Las Vegas. He was on the junior national team, and he transferred to Wasatch Academy as a sophomore. This is his second year with the Tigers. Again, Wasatch staying in their full court trap. Nice finding signing, and it's Greer with the dunk. Minute and a half to go in the half. Jones gets Foster off his feet. Nice finish.
Casey Jones, stat sheet stuffer, very underrated.
Quan Greer going to hit the 3. So now 5 quick points there for Quan Greer. Keep it a 10-point game as we hit 1 minute left in the half.
And once again, this zone, it's slowed down Wasatch, but has it really stopped them? I can't say that it has, because they've gotten into the middle every time they wanted to.
Send to the corner, Rigby. Short on the triple, and the rebound taken by Justin Butler-White. As we still got 27 seconds on the shot clock. And Williams gets an easy look and couldn't finish. Trying to get a call on the contact. Shot clock is off with 20 seconds to go. So now it's, what are you going to want out of this one?
You know, once again, Hickman's going to probably take it at about 8, but I'm really looking at Premier's body language right now. That's the first thing Coach Clay's got to talk about at halftime.
5 seconds. Rigby again for 3, off the mark. Foster with the board, and that'll do it for the first half of play. In the Wasatch Academy Tigers got things done on the offensive end, but their defense led to offense, and they have built a 10-point lead as we go to the break. Wasatch Academy 43, Premier 33. You're watching the battle on the Fox Sports app. And welcome back to American Heritage High School. Again, our halftime score, Wasatch Academy 43, Premier Academy 33. Dusty Lister and Coach Lewis Preston. And Lewis, I'll tell you what, that first half, fast pace. But Wasatch Academy, what they did in a short spurt is the difference here at halftime.
And once again, it was those 4 turnovers that led to high percentage shots that got them the lead to where Coach Clay had to call a second timeout. And then once that happened, they kind of calmed down. It's been pretty even for the most part. As you start to break down the stats and you look, Robbie Armbrust leads Wasatch with 12 points, but you also got Nolan Hickman with 8. Once again, you've got Pop with 7. So it's a good balanced scoring. For Premier, it's been all Michael Foster. So he's going to need some more help. I'm very curious because watching Premier walk out of the locker room, heads were down. They kind of walked out slow. Wasatch came out. They came out very energetic, ready to, get through the warm-up. Let's get this thing going. So the first 3 minutes of this game, you're going to learn a lot about Premier because this thing can stretch from 10 to 20 really quickly. And if it gets that far, I'm not sure Premier, with the lack of time that they've had to prepare, is going to be able to make this that type of game to where they can make a run back into it.
It's interesting when one of the big differences was that the full court press and some of the changes they needed to make there, because that's where Wasatch got that spurt. It was what they were able to do in forcing the ball into a corner and be able to get things after that. And that it seems like an easy adjustment, but is it really?
Yeah. First of all, it's called the coffin corner because there's 4 defenders right there. You got the 2 guys on the court and you got the baseline and the sideline. You got to get the ball to the middle. I think they need to get Foster back here to the middle. Once he gets it, he can go and make different decisions right there and make the game very easy for the rest of his teammates. They just got to keep the ball in the middle of the floor. For Wasatch, the one thing I'm concerned about here, can you get somewhat lackadaisical, right, and let a team of the talent of Premier get back into the game? This is where you get a chance to put your foot on the gas, right, and extend that lead out and really put some pressure on Premier Academy.
Well, it's interesting. We talked about our 2 McDonald's All-Americans coming in. Foster with 14 points at the half. Nolan Hickman, 8 at the half. And I think if you looked at Foster, he played up to what we thought he could.
Yes.
He had an outstanding first half. And not only that, some highlight plays on the dunks. And he had blocks, too, that were called fouls. But when you look at Hickman, he still has – it didn't have his best half. He's on pace. He averages 16 points a game. But he's having himself – he's getting things done on both ends if you're Hickman.
When I look at Nolan Hickman, he's efficient. He's very efficient. And when you look at Foster, he has to do so much more for this Premier team. That's the reason why he sticks out so much more. But if you're looking at the game within the game, I'll take a whole team of Nolan Hickmans. And believe me, I'll take a whole team of Michael Fosters as well.
Well, we're going to start first with Premier here at the half. Williams gets it inside. Foster. Oh, nice job. Used that pump fake and then able to dunk it.
Foster's really light on his feet, for a big man his size. It's really impressive.
He's just so fluid. I think that's the other fun part of watching his game, is how fluid he is. As Isaac's going to pull up for the long 2 and hit.
Wow. That's a tough shot right there.
Del Morey might not like the fact that it was only worth 2, but it's high degree of difficulty. Get that one to go. As Foster send to the corner. Greer pass up the 3, and he hits a tough baseline J.
2 very back-to-back tough shots on both ends of the floor.
And Isaacs misses on the 3, and Cunnert with the rebound. Now Greer on the push. Quan ahead to Clay, gets it right back. Cunnert back rims the triple.
And Premier wanted that one to go down right there because that could have made it a 5-point game.
And Isaacs, he has 2 attempts go off the mark. That one rattling in and out.
You know what? This reminds me of the beginning of the game, how fast-paced and up and down it was right there before they slowed and calmed down.
Armbruster. Can't do any more than that there on that tough contest on the miss for Foster. On the other end, wow, how about the quick ball up the floor and Roddy Gale Jr. with the lay-in. And then quickly on the other way back, William Young not getting the call. And now the lob and another dunk for Armbruster, now with 14.
I'm telling you right now, Nolan Hickman's out here he's dropping dimes left and right. Once again, efficient.
And you saw that one coming. Another look at that last bucket here for Wasatch.
That was easy. That was easy right there. That pass that he threw to Roddy Gale, right? I mean, I was a football coach. I would have had to get that highlight.
And now a steal off the inbound. And good hands by Foster, but in the hands of Roddy Gale. Euro leaves it short, then gets his own board. And the bucket, 14-point lead, 5:45 left in the quarter.
And like I told you before, depending on how Premier came out here, this thing could extend to 20 really quickly. It's at 14 right now.
Foster fall away, can't get it. And that loose ball picked up by Isaacs. Pop-up leaves it for Foose, and then he's blocked. That was Petey Dogali with the block. Foose still trapped along the baseline. Didn't ever hit the ball, hit the floor. That ball goes out of bounds.
A lot of contact underneath right there.
You see it here.
Thought it was rugby.
See Petey Dogali able to knock that one out. Isaacs gets to the middle, loses the handle. Dogali goes to the floor. And now the jump ball called. And we'll stay here with Wasatch Academy.
You know, sometimes right there you want a timeout call to save the possession, but if you know you got the arrow, you know, just take the jump ball right there and save that timeout for later on.
Oh, quick inbound arm bruster. He wasn't ready for that. Robbie leaves it wide. Tipped ahead. Here comes Clay. And then it's Hickman barely with the steal.
Nice back tip. It's only funny that Hickman goes over there by the two Kentucky fans with the Kentucky shirts on over there. I still hate Leitner. Huh.
Hey, something's never died. You know, that 92 shot just still hurts.
It's 30 years ago. You got to let it go.
They're yelling at the screen right now. He should have been out of the game. Quickly ahead. Oh, it was a beautiful save by Gale Jr. Now Foster got a little fancy, and Hickman with the steal. Oh, beautiful look. Big Foose!
Oh!
Misses the dunk. Now Cunnert leaves it. Dogali able to get the foul, and it'll be Petey Dogali shooting two.
Now it goes to fast pace to now being not very pretty.
Had every opportunity for it to be pretty, but timeout on the floor with 4:32 left in the quarter. Full timeout, we'll take it with them. You're watching the battle on the Fox Sports app. The action has been fast and it's been constant. Let's take a look here at the Premier bench.
I think one of the great things right here, you talked about how fast and how furious it's been. And a lot of it just goes back to Wasatch's intensity defensively, and they're just imposing their will on Premier. I thought Coach Clay made a great timeout call right there because he could just see it in the eyes. Like I talked about, in these first 3 minutes, you know, now we're at 3.5 almost to go. This extended out to 14. Could have very easily, with a couple easy baskets right here, been 18 to 20. So once again, Premier's got to come out. They got to get 3 stops in a row. They have not been able to get 3 stops in a row. It's just more. Wasatch has been missing some shots and some easy buckets.
So Petey Dogali will go to the line. As he hits the first, and he's someone that didn't play in the first half, the second half. We see him already get on the floor, put a lot of effort on the floor.
They need energy and effort right now.
So splits the pair. And as you mentioned, Lewis, now what can Premier do on the defensive end of the floor? Because as you've mentioned as well, that this can get to 20 points in a hurry. There's Roddy Gale Jr., nice defense there by Foster. And speaking of nice defense, when they say stepped out of bounds, every whistle there with Foster is like, just waiting.
I never thought it was a foul. I thought he did a great job. Not only a great job of moving his feet, but for all you young big men out there, he did a great job of keeping his hands up.
And again, the inbound to that coffin corner. And we saw that earlier. And so as a coach and you're watching that, and your team, what do you do to get it out of him? You say, hey, now we're just going to inbound. Please walk it to the middle of the floor. What do you do?
It's not a matter of that. What happens is when that ball is caught right there, you see the double team coming. Either the guy who's inbounding has got to get in quickly behind it and they got to throw it back, or they got to get the opposite guy to come and flash here to the middle. Once you get the ball to the middle, now you're playing 3-on-2, right? In some instances, you might be playing as much as 4-on-1, depending on who gambles, and take advantage of it. Guys are just standing still. The opposite guy's just standing over there and looking at Keontae Clay right there. When he caught it, he's too small to see over the top. That's the reason why he had to burn that timeout. And these are just some of the things right here for Coach Clay that he can go back on film and show his team as they continue to get better as a team. Is like just some of these little things, right, add up to bigger things for the other team.
So there's Foster, and he's going to get hit with the offensive foul, getting that arm away from the body. That's number 3.
Yeah, that was too easy. That was too easy to call, right. But you know what? I said earlier about putting him in the middle. They put him in the middle. He comes, gets the ball. Like, he really didn't need the extracurriculars right there. He just needed to go get by him.
Halfway through the third quarter. Hickman short on the triple, and the rebound taken by Premier. Foster hands off to Clay. Keontae Clay Jr.'s second 3.
And that's what he's known for.
The other way, Hickman can't get that one to roll in. And Dogali with the rebound. Here comes Michael Foster. Here's your McDonald's All-American matchup. Foster, fall away, a little strong, and a rebound claimed by Casey Jones. We'll match up on this end. Jones gets the board and the 3 on the other end.
Wow. So he's extended his range since the last time I saw him in November.
It must be the weights, because I talked to Coach Peterson. What have you been up to? He's like, hey, we've lifted a lot lately. He's like, we're going to find out what we're ready for. It's down the foul of Brendan Rigby.
You know what? That's a big 3 right there by Jones, because believe it or not, Premier was a couple possessions to getting that thing under 10. Now it's back up to 13, and it's once again, it's just enough to keep you arm's distance to where you feel like no matter what I'm doing, I'm not able to get there.
Media timeout on the floor. 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and we'll be right back. Dusty Lister, Lewis Preston with you, and as we come out of the timeout, Casey Jones, you talked about how big that 3 was. The rebound, those are all things that impact the stat sheet, but also it's just the timing of the 3, right? The timing of your buckets.
And the timing of that 3 was 51-41. Premier was making a little run, could get it back to 10. He gets that 3 up to 13 and keeps him at arm's length to where it's like, man, this might be too hard.
So for Premier, who's going to step up and be that consistent scorer to go along with Foster, as Foster gets some separation with that physical play, and then it will go the foul on Kiba.
Wow, that could have been his 4th foul.
Well, actually, it's going to go on. Yeah, right. It's going to be Casey Jones actually picking up the foul.
Yeah, it could have been his 4th foul right there. Michael Foster had one thing on his mind. He was going to try to punish the rim.
And Foster knocks down the first free throw. As I mentioned, the number 6 prospect in the 2021 class is yet to commit. And there's certainly coaches all over the country watching this stream.
And he can play for me anytime.
You can imagine how his Instagram account is just got to be full of messages, and he's going to have plenty, I'm sure, in the middle of this game as Rigby misses on the 3, and the rebound to Quan Greer.
And once again, I don't think it's as much about Premier getting stops. Just Wasatch is missing open shots.
Foster loses the handle. Picked up by Isaacs. Pop-pop transition. And knocks down the 3. Timing again, right?
Yeah, just keeps you at bay. Turnover, 3-point shot.
And Clay going to draw the foul on Isaacs. Is one of the keys we talked about is Wasatch Academy staying out of foul trouble. Huh?
And that's their fourth already.
And here's the funny thing. I've seen a lot of Wasatch Academy over the last couple of years. Team fouls is one of the biggest things. They go through runs because they play so hard.
Yeah.
They go full court press, and you kind of give up those fouls throughout the game. Deep three for Clay. Back rim. Foster battling Jones, gets the rebound. And now it'll be Isaacs picking up his fifth and final foul.
Foul at number 1, Potts Jr. That's his 5th personal foul. Checking in, number 2, Nolan Hickman.
And you can see how frustrated about it.
Yeah.
I think you see the replay. I mean, the foul, but he's got stuck in no man's land on that rotation. And Foster's going to pick up number 4.
It's a foul. Casey Jones takes it.
He can't lower the shoulder. I know the coach is upset. He can't lower the shoulder to separate. Watch, right here, right here. That's a foul.
Once you lower that profile, right?
Yeah. I mean, now, Casey put a little acting into it.
Nice ball movement. And even better on the outside of the defense there by Corey Williams.
And once again, I keep looking at Premier's body language right now, and it just looks like it's not the body language of a team that's going to make a 14-point comeback as of right now. And that might change. Still got plenty of time left.
Rigby lips out the 3. Jones on the rebound. Misses the bunny, and now a loose ball foul against Wasatch Academy. And that'll be the 7th team foul. We're going to walk 94 feet the other way.
That's his 2nd personal foul. We're in the bonus. 1-1.
And that's number 2 on Jones.
Robbie Armbruster.
And this is what we talked about, right? Was them potentially getting into foul trouble. This is an advantage for Premier because now they can try to build back and get back into this game from the free throw line.
And the front end, a 1-on-1 good there by Quan Greer, and points with the clock stop. Always a helper.
Right.
Not to mention, hit 10, we get double bonus. And the my favorite part of what we're going to have tonight is that no stall ball opportunities. So
right.
35-second shot clock. So Premier, if they can get going offensively, force the issue, and not settle for threes, they could climb back in this game. But they got to make one and dones, and Greer with the block. Oh, miscommunication there, and Rigby loses the handle. The loose ball finally claimed by.
You don't have any timeouts left.
The Premier is out of timeouts, and Coach Peterson on top of it, the official, turned around and said, hey, not going to give him a timeout because there was no clear possession, or that would have been a technical foul.
Yeah, absolutely.
So talk about another storyline if this game tightens up, right? Foster, he's got 4, and he so smooth.
Yeah, I just shook my head and said, wow, because that's exactly what that play was, a wow play.
And now a steal, nice hands by Clay. Quickly on the run. Clay pulls for 3 and hits. Keontae Clay.
It's a 7-point game right now.
$20 seconds to go in the quarter. Premier threatening to climb back in this one. No Isaacs before the 4th quarter. Is Hickman with the shot clock off. 7 seconds. Up top, Armbruster for 3. Rimmed out. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. The Premier makes a small run to close out the 3rd as we head to the 4th. It's Wasatch 57, Premier 50.
And once again, as you start to watch these right here, Clay took a shot, made it a harder shot, still knocked it down. They have made the run to get back into this game. It's going to be an interesting and great fourth quarter to finish this thing off. What I'm very curious right now, right, what is Coach Peterson talking to the team about right now? Because as we go back and look, Wasatch just had a 14-point lead, right? Now that thing's been cut in half, and it's been cut in half because they got sloppy. You can get disinterested, you can get distracted, and one thing leads to another. Once again, says a lot about Premier for not just putting their head down and just stop and play. They continue to play. What are they going to do now with a couple of adjustments right here? I think they just got to go back to doing what they were doing best. They got to pick up full court again and see if they can get some turnovers that way. Losing Pop right now really does hurt them because they got to go deeper into their bench into some guys that might not be ready for this moment coming up here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things you talked about is the body language. And the body language is a funny thing because it picks up that fast, right? Mm-hmm. Get a couple plays and all of a sudden say, hey, there we go. You look at the clock, look at the scoreboard, and you see here it goes single digits, and now all of a sudden you start to find it.
Right.
But can you capture? Because for Wasatch Academy, I think you're right, settling.
I call it human nature. And that's exactly what happens here. Human nature kicks in, and all of a sudden it's like, you know what, we're going to cakewalk this thing the rest of the way. But then you can easily change momentum. Momentum swings, and it's hard to get it back. So, once again, Wasatch has got to come out here in this first couple minutes and really impose their will and get back to doing what they were doing to get the 14-point lead.
And Hickman gets in the lane.
It's not very hard when you do it that way right there. Not very hard at all.
Keontae Clay, a couple of threes in that third quarter, and now a deep three. Had a little stare down to the Tiger bench. And it's a 6-point game.
Yeah.
And Hickman going to draw the foul on Sam Curtis. Only the third team foul.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see the disparity, that 7-3 team fouls, this could be 7-5 really fast.
Yeah.
Hickman pulls up for that long range too, and he's starting to feel better.
That's why he's a McDonald's All-American right there.
Curtis forcing the issue, send to the corner. Williams, the
wow.
Rare scene, banked in corner three.
I'm with you, Coach Peterson. Even I got to laugh at that. Are the banks still open?
At Mountain Time, yeah.
Okay.
No.
I just wanted to make sure.
That's the old pool stuff, right? No slop. Into the corner. Roddy Gale Jr. lost the handle. It was ball contact on that, so White stayed alive. And now Hickman can get hit with the foul, and it'll be one-on-one free throws for Curtis.
It's one-on-one. It's one-on-one, yeah. Okay.
I think everyone's new. And that is the first on Hickman. And so the front end doesn't go for Curtis. Now Cookie down the floor. Rigby back up top to Hickman. High post to Armbruster, and that one off the mark.
That's not who he is right there.
Keontae Clay, send to the corner. Curtis, short on the three, and the rebound taken by Gale Jr. Maybe put a little check mark next to that play, depending on what happens here, as Rigby misses the three. Foose with the board. Big Foose goes up strong, doesn't get it, and Roddy Gale Jr. there for the board and putback.
It could have easily been the fifth foul, but they let that one go right there. Good job right there by Foose to, continue the battle right there.
And Foose going to pick up the foul. It'll put Foster at the line for one-on-one. Do you see that last little sequence?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a great job by Roddy Gale getting to that offensive glass right there, but a lot of that started with Foose right there.
So Armbrust will come off the floor. Foose comes off as well as Kiba comes on. And Foster has been very good from the stripe. No such thing as a broadcaster jinx as he rolls in the front at a 1-and-1.
I always tell people, like, we have no impact on whether they make or miss a free throw. I'm telling you.
Field goal kickers and free throws.
Yeah, exactly.
But splitting the pair is Foster. And back to a 6-point game. And again, Hickman for 3. And, man, this fourth quarter's treated him well. 7 points.
I'm just saying, living right.
Hey, it's the better ball,
Yeah.
you know.
Ooh.
Keontae Clay to the corner to Curtis. Now inside to Foster. And now the hook.
That's his 5th. Yep.
Saw that right arm.
Yeah.
Substitution.
You see the right here.
That's 5 on
Yeah.
Michael Foster.
I know Coach Clay frustrated. You saw in that replay there. You get that arm through. I mean, that's
11, Michael Foster. That's his 5th personal foul.
a tough one. And I don't think he realized. Oh, we thought we were going NBA rules with the 6 fouls. Oh, Coach Clay's frustrated.
I understand. I've been there. I've been on both sides.
Yeah. Problem is you can't take him off.
Yeah.
And we don't need another reason to run replay into basketball right now. Jones sent to the corner to Rigby. Brandon along the baseline.
Oof.
Oh, was trying to find that one to Kiba. Now on the run, Keontae Clay Jr.
Nice finish. Nice finish.
Keontae Jr.
Nice good test by Jones. And then how about the defensive end there?
Yep.
Nice job by Williams getting his paw on there. How about the tough finish here by Keontae Clay?
Great finish. You know what was great about that? He kept his eyes on the prize the entire time.
Quick inbound. And the 3 short. And the rebound taken by Clay. And a chance to cut it to 4 with the 3. And he's going for it. And Kiba goes up to get that board. And now on the other end, Jones able to get to the rim and finish.
Nice. That's what Jones does.
Glad to see Harris able to get back up.
Right.
Quan Greer. Cunder back to Greer on the give and go. Kiba going to pick up the foul. That swing. The swing doesn't help the optics on this one.
I'm going to call that Phantom Friday. But you're right. The swing made it easy. The swing made it easy.
As Greer knocks down the first. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because if he doesn't miss, you're only going to see it once.
Yeah.
And Quan Greer goes to the line, knocks them both down. And he's just hanging around this 7-point, 6-point range. Jones to the corner. Will pull up from Roddy Gale, does not go. And he was looking for that quick steal. Williams nearly gave that one up off the travel. Coming other ways, Jones. He's able to get a bit of room there for the lay-in.
I'm gonna tell you, Casey Jones. He's just gonna look. You're gonna look back at his points. They're gonna be difference maker points. He's everywhere right now.
And he got the board there. Come the other way. Roddy Gale Jr. off on the 3.
I got to give Coach Peterson a lot of credit. Just moves on to the next play. I give him a lot of credit right now.
This ultra positive is Paul Peterson. Inside, sent back out. The 3 on the way and good from Carlos Harris.
You know what was funny about that? It was close to being a 3-second.
Right.
It's a 6-point game coming up here on the 3-minute mark left, huh?
Hey, tightening things up here at the battle. Remember, 35-second shot clock. We haven't had to talk about it a whole lot. As Jones misses on that one, and now the foul will put Jones at the line, and will be a 2 free throw opportunity here.
A little bit late, but he's right. A little bit late. He don't believe it now. He'll see it on the replay.
Right. It's that continual movement right there, right? As Jones back rims the first.
I just want to know how Michael Foster thought it was 6 fouls.
I don't know where he saw that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I still want him on the floor. I would have given him a 7th.
Right. We're going to go all-star game style here, and the officials thought maybe it was media timeout, but it's under 3 minutes.
Right.
I know we took it the last time at 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And once again, Coach Peterson, knowing his team and understanding his team, is letting these guys play through some of this. But once again, this is the good part of playing this level of competition, because you get an opportunity to get some film on some things you need to work on and get better at. Film doesn't lie.
Keontae Clay, man alive. How about this young sophomore?
Wow. Keontae Clay just looked over at me like he wanted some. I mean, I was trying to commentate the game. He's trying to put a finger roll on me, too.
Hickman leaves that one short. And now loose ball picked up by Cunnert. Cunnert quickly ahead. Greer into Rigby, and they're him with a charge.
Now it's the media, right?
And now we go to the media timeout. As you see the charge call on Quan Greer, and it's a 5-point lead for Wasatch. 2:17 left in the fourth. You're watching the battle on the Fox Sports app.
Don't go anywhere. Game 2 starts at 7:30 as CBC takes on Seattle Rotary.
And welcome back in, Dusty Litster, Coach Lewis Preston. And Coach, when we came back after one of our timeouts, said, hey, who's going to step up for Premier? And it's been Keontae Clay.
Keontae Clay has done everything except pay for the rent in the gym here tonight in this second half. It's been very impressive. What I am curious to see now, Wasatch has got to have – this is where McDonald's All-American right now has got to step up for you, especially with Pop being over here on fouled out. So
Big Foose with that finish on the lob. He missed the dunk earlier. This one a little more high degree difficulty.
I think Foose didn't like the fact that I hadn't mentioned his name in a while, so I think he just wanted to, okay, I'll see you, big fella. Exactly. He just shook his head like, y'all know it.
His transition the last 3 years has been outstanding. You talk about Molly. There's a guy that was only small colleges that was offering him, and now committed to Brigham Young University. And now Rigby with the steal. Brendan Rigby talked about it. This guy surprises you. You didn't think he'd be able to rise up. He's able to finish through the contact there on Carlos Harris, and a +1 for Rigby.
But here's something for all of you big men out there and all of you players that are continuing to develop your game. Keep working, because you talked about small colleges for Foose, and he just kept working on his game, especially for big men. Being a big man, a former big man myself, we have a tendency to develop a little bit later, so the light bulb comes on a little bit later. Not that the game is slower, but once the light bulb comes on, the game slows down for you.
So they complete the three-point play, and it's back to an 11-point game. As Premier's had it down to as low as 6. As Clay forcing that one quickly ahead. Rigby getting defender behind him, and Rigby! Told you, he's going to give you one of those jaw droppers. You don't see it coming. You watch him walk into the gym, and it's Billy Hope. And here's the finish.
You got a little. Let me rephrase that. He got a lot of spring in his step. A lot of spring in his step.
And you just don't expect it from a young man out of Colorado. You know, we've seen him for this is the second year, and he's kind of surprised. You watch him walk in the gym, you don't see that coming. As a nice finish there by Cunnert.
Bucket by number 23, Premier, Max Cunnert.
1:15 left. I love the effort still on the floor as Hickman leaves that one in for Foose.
Wow.
And the big man finishes.
Nolan to Foose.
And you know what? This game's back up to 13 again.
Nice move by William, or it was William Young. Couldn't get it off the offensive board. Hickman misses the three. Jones there to clean it up. Inside of a minute. Down to 45 seconds. Remember, there's a shot clock, so not going to be able to just hold this one out.
Right. But that's a great thing. Casey Jones just made me smile right there because, once again, it is a play that you're not going to pay attention to, extra possession. He's probably given them 4 extra possessions in this game at critical times when the game was tight.
Oh, nice finish there by Roddy Gill Jr. 25 seconds left. Remember, we got game 2 coming up in about 45 minutes. So we'll come right back here to the Fox Sports app as this one will come to a close on Wasatch Academy, getting the 15-point win. But, man, it's got a little hairy to close the end.
And that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see if Premier can make that run back, and they did. Nothing to put their heads down on and everything. Just got to continue to get better. Great win right here by Wasatch.
And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing game. Fantastic athletes.
It's great to share the mic with you.
Absolutely. We got one more coming, but, Coach, this is a fun one. Wasatch in the final score. Wasatch Academy 83, Premier 68. Just some final thoughts of what we saw tonight and even from our stars.
First of all, the stars were stars. Michael Foster was as good as advertised. Having a chance to put my eyes on Nolan Hickman for the second time. He's gotten bigger. He's gotten stronger. Game just, once again, game is silky smooth. He plays with a great level of efficiency, both offensively and defensively. Both of these teams got a lot of things to be very happy about. For Wasatch, as they prepare for Geico, Premier as they continue to prepare for their season as well. So great things from both teams. Looking forward to continuing to following them and wishing both of their programs great success.
Again, our final score, Wasatch Academy 83, Premier Academy Basketball 68. A fun one. This has been a SUTV production on the Fox Sports app. For Coach Lewis Preston, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and watching the battle on the Fox Sports app.